Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Video Clips. And as usual, I have a couple of announcements before we get started. First of all, last weekend was Optimal Health and Life with Pam Part 1. Sorry, we won't be offering that again until next year. But this coming December, first weekend in December, will be Optimal Life and Health with Pam Part 2. And in this one, completely different agenda. We're going to talk about things like healthy aging and cognitive health and Alzheimer's disease, which I have a lot to say about that today. Hair, nails, skin, taking better care of yourself. So health as you age, that's basically it. Optimal health as you age. I'm 66 years old and I'm intending to be active until I die, or almost until I die. I'm going to tell you what my plan is for it, show you the science behind it, and then you can decide what you want to do. Another thing, don't forget our sample class or mini professional development class that's coming up soon. This is for health professionals. Who would benefit from this is if you're a health professional unhappy with your career, looking for new direction, you want to be in independent practice, but you're nervous about how to do it. You're not a health professional, but you're thinking that you might like to become one. You're interested in our programs. You want just a little bit more information before you would enroll in something bigger. So here's the curriculum: research basics, how to analyze research studies and health information to help yourself to make good recommendations to other people. Nutrition and lifestyle, what really counts. And then along with that, habit change. How do you get people to do this if you're in a health-related practice? Clinical skills, the approaches for today's complicated people who are deep into the medical mill and want out. And then business basics, how to start, market, and operate an independent health business. And so this will be divided into 3 classes on December 1st, 8th, and 15th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And the tuition is only $249, but you can apply that $249 to other classes that we offer if you decide that you want to go on with your studies. But I will promise you that you'll learn enough in those 3 classes that if you never take any more classes from us again, you'll know a lot about what to do and you'll be able to move forward. All right, so that's coming up. And of course, don't forget our fabulous food products, which I've started living on years ago and love. Salads and our foods, and I'm good to go for a long time. So I'm happy to send you a catalog. My email address, pampopper@msn.com. All right, so I mentioned that today's topic would have a little bit to do with Alzheimer's disease. So let's just kind of start at the beginning. Dementia is one of the leading causes of disability and commitment to care homes for elderly people. And we should all endeavor to not go there after we saw what happened with older people being locked up and not really having any human companionship for a while. Worldwide, there are almost 10 million new cases of Alzheimer's disease every year. It not only destroys quality of life for the affected person, but also for family members who try, at least in the beginning, as hard as they can to avoid placing patients in care homes, but they're often forced to because the patients degenerate to the place that they can't be left alone. Dementia is largely preventable by addressing risk factors, which include smoking, too much alcohol, hypertension, hearing loss, obesity, poor diet, sedentary lifestyles, and just not using your brain. And a lot of people don't use their brain enough. You've heard use it or lose it when it comes to muscles. We have to use it or lose it when it comes to your brain as well. Well, a new prospective cohort study looked at the relationship between both physical and mental activity and dementia. And the study included over 500,000 subjects who didn't have dementia, who were recruited between 2006 and 2010, and followed from 1 year after they joined the study until 2019. So the follow-up period was fairly good. And the average age at recruitment was a little over 56 years old. So that long follow-up got people to the age where cognitive decline starts to accelerate. Subjects who engaged in frequent, vigorous exercise, housework-related activities, and who spent time with family and friends had a lower risk of dementia. Job-related activity and walking for pleasure also reduce the risk. And what's most important about this is not only that, again, dementia and Alzheimer's disease are preventable, but these factors were protective even for subjects in the study who had a family history of dementia or had been found to have a genetic predisposition. The APOE gene predisposes people to have dementia and Alzheimer's disease, and even those people benefited. So it's inevitable. Yeah, not so much. The authors note that their findings are consistent with previous studies. I've seen several of them. They cite, for example, a meta-analysis of 16 studies that included almost 164,000 subjects, which showed that those with the highest level of physical activity had a 28% lower risk of dementias compared to those with the lowest level. Another meta-analysis of 15 prospective studies concluded that physical activity was protective against cognitive decline. What's important about these is we know what the mechanisms of action are. One would be, for example, exercise-induced release of brain-derived neurotropic factor. You actually can get smarter with exercise. Your brain becomes better wired. Improved cerebral blood flow due to aerobic exercise, and then the known antioxidant effect of exercise, which can protect the brain against oxidative damage. Exercise also has a positive effect on other known contributors to Alzheimer's disease, like obesity and hypertension, insulin resistance, depression, and cardiovascular health. Many studies have shown the positive effects of social interaction on reducing the risk of Alzheimer's disease because it is one way in which people use their brain in conversation with people. It's well known that social isolation decreases cognitive activity and promotes faster cognitive decline. So the bottom line is Alzheimer's disease is a lot like other degenerative diseases. Even if you are genetically predisposed to develop it, it's largely preventable with the right habits, and risk has little to do with genetic predisposition. And if you take a look at this Alzheimer's disease, some people say the reason we see so much of it is because people are living longer. That's not true. People are not living longer. We have not done a good enough job, but some progress has been made in reducing infant mortality, so that immediately skews the average age at death higher. But even aside from that issue, if you go back and look at even newspapers and magazines, let alone medical journals, there were no reports of Alzheimer's disease or this severe cognitive decline that causes people to be admitted to care homes. Not a single report until Westernization started setting in. Here in the United States, not a single report in the early 1900s. It really wasn't until we started eating the way we eat, becoming sedentary and that sort of thing, that we started to see the incidence of Alzheimer's disease going up. And what you'll find is that what's good for the heart is good for the brain. So most people have some understanding of how to eat to prevent heart attacks and strokes and keep your plasma cholesterol levels low. Well, that's pretty much how you protect your brain too, and exercise for the same reasons, same protective effect. So feel empowered about this. The fact that I'm 66 years old, I'm not worried at all about cognitive decline because I eat a diet, live a lifestyle, and exercise in a way that keeps my brain intact. So barring some kind of traumatic impact, rather, I should say, I intend to be in this shape of cognitive health for the rest of my life. And this, again, coming back to my optimal health and life with Pam, part 2, which is a virtual boot camp. First weekend of December, Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, we record it. But if you want more information about this type of thing, this is just one of the topics we're going to cover. All right, that's it for now. As usual, pass this on to anybody who you think might enjoy watching, and I'll be back to you tomorrow with more news.